What is going on, guys? It's Suk and I am back with a brand new video on Super Duper Tech. And in today's video I'll be doing a speed test comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S8 as well as the HTC U11. Now if you guys are yet to subscribe, then go ahead and do so, as I will be uploading a number of different speed test videos comparing a number of different smartphones against each other. Also, if you have not seen my review of the S8 or the U11, then you can click the card in the top right corner, or you can find links in the description section to go and check them out. But without any further ado, let's hit the titles. So first up, I do want to get into talking about the specifications of these two devices. Now the HTC U11 was released in June of 2017 and comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 octa-core processor along with 4GB of RAM. And the Samsung Galaxy S8 was released in April of 2017, and I have the international model, which means it comes with the Exynos 8895 octa-core processor, and just like the U11, it also has 4GB of RAM. So the first speed test that I am going to conduct is a boot up speed test. This is of course to see which of these two devices will load first. It's also worth mentioning that both of these devices are running a modified version of Android 7.0 from each manufacturer. It's also interesting to find out that the S8 managed to boot up in 22 seconds, whereas the U11 took 29 seconds. Now I did find that to be shocking, as both of these devices are very similarly matched in terms of hardware and software. So next up is of course the RAM and application speed test. Now before I started this test, I did of course ensure that all applications were closed. So the first thing that I did was of course start the stopwatch in the stock clock application, and then went on to opening up the settings and camera apps. Now as both of these devices power through the social media applications, they are pretty much neck and neck. But when it comes to opening up the multimedia applications, the S8 narrowly takes the lead, as it manages to open up Apple Music just a smidge faster. But of course, as you guys can see, the U11 is very much still in this race. Now as both of these devices finish loading up Apple Music, Netflix, YouTube and Uber, they then go on to opening up eBay, Amazon, Wikipedia and Lapsit Pro. Now it's at this point that you guys can see that the U11 takes the lead. Now in Lapsit Pro, both of these devices are going to be rendering and exporting a 2-second file which was shot at 4K for 30 frames per second. And if you look at the times on both of these devices, it currently looks like the U11 has approximately a 10-second advantage over the S8. And as you guys can see, the U11 is on to opening up its final 4 gaming applications: Subway Surfers, Pokemon Go, Injustice 2 and Super Mario Run. Now as the S8 gets into loading up Pokemon Go, the U11 is now on to opening up Injustice 2. But of course the S8 is now hot on the U11's trail. But as the U11 goes on to opening up its final application, Super Mario Run, it clearly takes the lead and finishes its first lap with a total time of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Now as the U11 comfortably starts its second and final lap, the S8 finally finishes loading up its final application of the first lap to give a first lap time of 2 minutes and 36 seconds. If you guys have watched any of my previous speed test videos with the S8, then you will have heard me say multiple times how poor the S8 manages its RAM. But this is made even more apparent, as both of these devices have very similar specs, but they do perform very differently in terms of RAM management. And if you look at the S8, the only applications which it had ready to open in its RAM was Instagram and Lapsit Pro. For example, of the 4 gaming applications, the U11 only had to reload one, being Pokemon Go, whereas the other 3 had ready to go in its RAM. Now ultimately it's HTC's ability to comfortably manage the RAM in its smartphones which gives it the win. Now it finishes its second lap with a total time of 3 minutes and 29 seconds, with the second lap taking around 1 minute 13. And as you guys are seeing, the S8 still has to finish loading up Pokemon Go, Injustice 2 along with Super Mario Run. Now I am going to start speeding this up, but to me it's clear that Samsung really need to push some sort of update out to its S8 lineup. I know Samsung are going to release the Note 8 very soon, and I know that it will also come with 2 gigs extra RAM, and I am hoping to God that this extra RAM is enough to give it that extra push. And as you guys can now see, the S8 finishes the test with a total time of 4 minutes and 32 seconds, with the final lap taking around 1 minute 55. Now despite the U11 taking an additional 7 seconds to first boot up, I think we can all agree that in this test the U11 takes the win. This is mainly down to the fact that if you look at the times, the U11 was over a minute faster than the S8. So then guys, that has been it for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to hit that like button, and if you are new around here, then be sure to subscribe. If you have got any questions as to what you've seen in today's video, then be sure to leave them down below, or you can go ahead and hit me up on my social media. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.